In today's video, I'll be showing you guys my workflow when it comes to color grading my vlog footage, and it's the exact same workflow that I've used for the last year. It's super quick, it's super simple, and it gets great results every time. So let's just get straight into it. So here we are inside of Final Cut, which is the editor that I normally use for all of my video editing, and I've loaded up 4 different clips from different shoots that I've done in the last year. Very different clips, and I want to show how my color grading workflow works with all of them, and just how quick and easy it is to do to get, you know, really nice, pleasing results straight off the bat. So starting off with this first clip then that I got in Belgium, let's go ahead and drag our effects preset onto the clip. And for those that aren't aware of what an effects preset is inside of Final Cut, it's sort of like a node tree inside of DaVinci Resolve. So you can basically save the adjustment layers that you use regularly so that you don't have to keep on just dragging them onto each clip as you are editing. So as you can see here, for example, this effects preset has got a custom LUT, a curves layer, a wheels layer, and then film convert nitrate already preloaded onto it, so I don't need to go ahead and drag each one individually onto each clip. So let's start off here with our custom LUT. I'm using neutral V-Log conversion LUT from the Phantom Arri conversion, Rex 9 conversion pack. There's a few different ones in here that have slightly different sort of characteristics in terms of the look they give you, but I really like the neutral one because it just gives you a really solid starting point to grade with nice colors, with, you know, a nice amount of contrast already. It's just a really good starting point when you are grading vlog footage. What I'll do is I'll leave a link in the description to the Phantom LUT pack for vlog if you're interested in checking it out. It's the one that I use. It's probably one of the best packs that I've found for vlog, so I definitely recommend that you do check it out if you haven't done so already. But yeah, anyway, so let's move on to the wheels. So what I'll do here is just adjust the midtones, shadows, and highlights according to what my eye sees best fit for this clip. So I don't really use the scopes as much as other people do because, I mean, I think that people that are watching your videos won't have scopes next to the video, so they won't know if your blacks are slightly crushed or if this is slightly off. Overall, I'm going for an aesthetic. I want it to look good, so I don't really care too much if I do, let's say, crush the blacks very slightly. It doesn't matter too much to me. So yeah, with the wheels, I get it into a sort of a good point. I think around here looks good. I won't add any saturation just yet, and then I'll head over to my curves. So what a lot of people will do with their curves is make that traditional S-curve for the contrast. So they'll drag down this point here on the shadows and then this point here on the highlights to make a subtle S. And as you can see, it doesn't really look that great in my opinion. Because of the way that I've graded using the wheels, of course, but that's because I normally don't like that sort of contrast. I actually do the complete opposite to that, so I do the reverse S-curve, where I drag down the highlights slightly to make them a bit softer and a bit smooth, and then raise the shadow slightly as well to about here. And then with the midtones, I'll sort of raise it or drop it depending on what I think the skin tones are doing. I think around here looks fine. And then the only other thing that I really do in the curves is with this bottom point here on the red curve, I'll just drag this slightly to the right just to take away some of that redness and add in a bit more of a green, cooler look. And as you can see before and after, that's what my curves have done. I much prefer that sort of look. And then what I'll do is I'll go into film convert nitrate, which has been enabled already, but I'll toggle it on and off. So this is what it looks like before. You can see that the skin tones look very harsh. It's very contrasty. It's not really smooth. It does a mad job at actually making the skin tones look so much better. And I'll show you what's going on in here. So I have the Polaroid 600 film stock loaded up, and then I have the Luma rolled the whole way up, and then the chroma the whole way down. So the film Luma is essentially like the tone curve of that specific film stock that you have it set to. And then the chroma is sort of like the color characteristic of that film stock. So if I roll this up, you'll see that you get that greeny, yellowy sort of look that Polaroid 600 is known for. But I don't want any of that stuff. I want it to look kind of universally sort of appealing, if you like. So yeah, I have the Luma rolled the whole way up though, because if I roll this down, that is what's giving us the nice soft skin tones, the nice sort of roll off with the highlights, and I really like this sort of effect, and this is pretty much all I use film convert for. And then I'll normally add a little bit of grain. Let's put it up sort of like maybe about 16. That looks fine to me. I don't want to go too ham because, as you can see, it does, you know, get quite grainy quite quickly. So around sort of 17 or 18 looks good for me. And then what I can also do here is change the tint slightly. So I might make it a little bit more green, and then also raise the temperature slightly. I just think it works nicely to do it inside of Film Convert. And then that's basically the grade aside from one last step. And as you can see, it was really simple. But I mean, the last step I'm going to do is add another wheels layer. I'm going to drag it up here. So that's between the first wheels and the Film Convert layer. I'm going to open up the shape mask, and I'm just going to draw a shape mask around the subject's main focus point, which in this case would be their face. So I'm going to do this and feather it out quite a lot. And then I'll use this to basically add a bit more sort of three-dimensionality and a bit of a pop to the subject. So I'll lower the shadows slightly, raise the highlights slightly, maybe around here. And then I'll go to the outside of the mask, drop the shadows very slightly, and then also the highlights, the midtones very slightly. And I might actually go to the inside again and just raise the highlights saturation very, very slightly. And you guys can see I'm being very minimal here with the way that I edit. I don't really like to go too heavy on any particular effect. I think that subtlety is the best way to color grade because the effects sort of speak for themselves when they're used in unison. And I'll disable this and enable it so you can see the effect that this had. So that's before adding that color wheel, and this is after. Just adds a bit more emphasis to the subject's face, in my opinion. It makes it look a bit more punchy, a bit richer. So if I toggle that on and off, this is without any effects, and this is after. So as you can see, this is a very, very simple workflow, and it works for everything in my opinion. So then let's move to the next one. Let's find a frame that looks good. Let's use this one, and then I'm going to drag this on. I'll do this a little bit quicker now. So the wheels, we're going to just get our general levels. This clip is looking a little bit magenta in my opinion, but I'll show you how I solve that. Maybe do around here, and you guys can see that I'm not doing any drastic adjustments to start off with. I'm constantly going back and forth, changing it depending on what I think looks good. And then I'll go to the curves, same sort of thing again. Let's drag the highlights down, make them a bit soft, and the shadows up slight. Actually, I might leave them down, and then the midtones up very slightly. And same thing with the reds. Let's just push that slightly to the right, maybe around here. So this is before and after. Again, very small differences, but the small ones are the things that add up the most. Now we're going to go into Film Convert again, add maybe about, I don't know, let's add about 25, though let's add about 23 this time because it's a music video. More grain for a music video isn't really a big issue, to be honest. I'm going to drop that tint a little bit, maybe to -2, and then make it a bit warmer because I like the warm look for this. And then I'm going to go ahead and add that shape mask with another wheels layer, drag that up to here, and then we're going to put it over our subject again. Again, it's the exact same process here, guys. I'm not going to do anything too different from last time. And then let's go into this, go into the inside, make a bit more emphasis on our subject's skin and face, just like that. That looks good to me. Might add a little bit of saturation on the skin tone again. Then on the outside, drop the shadows and drop the midtones very slightly. And I'm also going to add a bit more green with a global adjustment here so that I get that nice green look come through that I like. So that's what it looks like before, and that's what it looks like after. A very, very nice, simple way to color grade that looks good pretty much every single time. I'm just going to cut in here really quickly to tell you about the sponsor of today's video, which is audio. Now, before we skip away, there's two things that I can always get behind, and that is good quality and good value. And that is exactly what audio delivers. Their royalty-free music library is jam-packed with high-quality songs and sound effects that will suit a wide variety of applications. In fact, with every download, you can select the right license for your use case, meaning that you never have to worry about copy strikes again, no matter what the project is. Audio is also the cheapest royalty-free music platform on the market, since you can actually get an unlimited annual subscription for just $59 for the year, and that is literally less than $5 a month. And what's even better is that using the code JOSHC, you can get 70% off your annual subscription. So go down to the description, click that link, and make sure to use the code JOSHC at checkout. Thanks again to Audio for sponsoring this video. I'll do it one last time now on this clip here. Let's use this as our hero frame. Drag that on, wheels. Let's get our rough sort of exposure looking good. I actually was a bit too hot on the key light in this shoot, I think, but that's fine, we can correct that. Same thing with our curves. Let's drag that down, let's drag that up a bit. Let's make sure our midtones are good, maybe around there. Drag this to the side, a little bit on the red channel. Open up Film Convert, let's go a bit of a green tint and then a bit more warmth. Let's go to about 9, and then a bit of grain. Sure, put it at 18. That'll be fine. And then you guys know what's coming next. Our second wheels layer, shape mask over our subject. And guys, again, this is getting very repetitive, but it's because I do the exact same thing for everything, and you'll see how effective this workflow is. It works for pretty much everything. That looks good. Then let's just do the outside. Let's make a bit of a vignette. Sweet. Again, before and after. And there's a graded clip. So yeah, guys, that's pretty much all that I do. Let me know what you guys think of this method. If you guys do something different, I'm sure that there's various other ways. I mean, color grading is such a subjective thing. There's so many different ways that you can do it. I'm sure that some of you guys might have different methods that take a bit longer and get better results. Just for the purpose of this video, I've shown you a really quick and dirty way that I do it. Normally, I would spend maybe an extra couple of minutes on each clip to get it dialed in nicely, but I just wanted to show you guys the proof of concept, if you like, so you can go ahead and use it for yourself. If you guys would like to learn a little bit more about getting the most out of your Panasonic cameras, then definitely check out this video next, and hopefully I shall see you in the next one.